inclusive list. The senators also endorsed life pension for the President and Deputy President of the Senate, as well as the Speaker and Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives. The recommendation that a bill automatically becomes law if the President fails to assent to it after 30 days of transmission was also approved. In addition, they adopted Clause 9 of a draft bill which empowers the National Assembly to make an entirely new constitution for the country. They also adopted Section 3A of a draft which rejects the President's assent on the amended constitution before taking effect. However, Clause 4 of the bill caused controversy on the floor of the Senate. The committee recommended alteration of Section 29 of the Constitution that deals with the manner of renunciation of citizenship. The Constitution states that full age means 18 years and above, and the committee proposed a removal of Part B of the clause, which states that any woman that is married shall be deemed to be of full age. But a lawmaker opposed this.
By Islamic law, any woman that is married, she's of age. So if you now say she's not of age, then it means that you are going against Islamic law.
Going forward, a conference committee will be set up to streamline the positions of both houses of the National Assembly, and the report from the conference committee would then be sent to the state houses of assembly. From the National Assembly, Linda Akibe, Channels Television News.
All right, so in case you missed that part, you did hear Linda say again now that there will be a conference committee which will be set up to harmonize all of these positions. And possibly, will they even take a look at complaints that emanate from people? Who knows? But then, over the weekend, there was a lot of talk here and there, protests. They also talked about signature signing of petitions. It just went on. Our cameras also caught up with some of those who had very strong views about that particular amendment. Let's take a look at this next report.
Members of the civil society groups, they filed a Saturday morning rain to sign a petition asking the National Assembly to delete Section 29, subsection 4B of the 1999 Constitution. Section 29 of the 1999 Constitution allows citizens who are of age to renounce Nigerian citizenship if they wish. For that purpose, the Constitution says 18-year-olds and above shall be considered to be of age. In addition, a woman or girl who is married shall also be considered to be of age, a section that could be interpreted to imply that even a day-old child, once married, shall be considered to be of age. This section has always been in the Constitution. The Senate Constitution Review Committee had proposed that the definition be deleted to exclude married girls under 18 years from being able to denounce Nigerian citizenship. However, there were arguments against the deletion, which has raised dissenting voices.
Regarding particularly sections 29 4B of the 1999 Constitution, we think the issue is about citizenship. We're worried about the fact that Nigerians seem to be distracted about the religious angle that was brought in by Senator Yerima. But the bottom line is citizenship should be gender neutral. We consider this a discriminatory clause, and that's why we wanted it to be removed. If you're not old enough to vote and you're not old enough to drive, you shouldn't be old enough to renounce your citizenship.
These social crusaders insist that there are negative implications if the clause is allowed to remain.
We want a clearer definition. We want a clear definition enshrined in the Constitution with respect to children being involved, underage children being involved in marriage relationships.
These protesters will be hoping that the House of Representatives would support the deletion of the clause since it has survived the Senate votes. From Abuja, Paul Nwachukwu, Channels Television News.
Okay then, well, to talk about that issue and more, we're joined this morning by Dr. Abiola Akiyode Afolabi, who is a lawyer, a feminist, and a national coordinator, Gender and Constitution Network. Morning, and thank you for coming on today.
Yeah, good morning.
So many reports out there, so many perspectives, and if one doesn't quite read between the lines, you may miss the point.
Yeah,
so, from your perspective, take us through all of this. What is this about for you?
Okay. Well, interestingly, I was at the Senate Gallery on the day this debate was on, as an organization, as a national coordinator of an organization that has been talking about the need for a review of the Constitution from a gender perspective. We went there for general reasons, and particularly for three reasons of the issues that were dealing with gender. And one was Section 26.2, which deals with citizenship generally. The second one was Section 29.4b, which is about deletion of 29.4b, which is the crossover matter. And the third one was on Section 42 of the Constitution. We went there to appeal to lobby the Senate to ensure that we, to a large extent, sustain the gains that we think we have made, given the long period that constitutional advocacy has been on. And we were there, right before us there, the whole debate started. The first vote was 75-2, because they had an initial vote on whether they should delete Section 29.4b or not. And 75 people voted that it should be deleted, which is in accordance with what we were also clamoring for. And 2 people said no, and I think there was about 2 or 3 abstentions. Now, after that, one of the senators came up with the argument about the fact that that section is not at variance with Islamic law. And I think we saw that also shown recently. And initially, the Senate President said, no, we are not going to go back on that vote because the vote has been taken. Yeah. And there were a lot of discussions and all that. And they went through some other votes. Then he raised the point of order. That's Senator Yerima again, raised a point of order. And that point of order brought that argument about child marriage, about the issue of Islamic law and all that up. And the votes came up again. So they agreed
to take the vote again.
Persuaded by his argument to take the votes again. And it was at that point that the deletion got 60 and, no, not to delete, got 60, that we should uphold what we have in the Constitution as it is now, and that we should delete, got 35. And by the way of the counting of the Senate, you must get at least 73 before that law, that aspect can be passed as majority. So that was the beginning of the issue. Now, I've read a lot of remarks on what actually happened. Yes, there are newspaper headlines saying Senate had legalized child marriage, and I've also seen a lot of social media discussion. But I think that it's important for us to put the facts straight. Section 29 is dealing with citizenship issue and renunciation of citizenship. Between Section 26 and 32, that's the Chapter 3 of the Constitution, and it deals generally with issues relating to citizenship. Which
are the parts that you actually wanted some provisions deleted?
Yes. One of the areas is Section 26.2, which allows a man who is married to a foreigner to bring our wife in to become a Nigerian citizen by registration, but which we don't have for women. So the other one is the Section 29. Now, Section 29.1 talks about procedures that you can take to renounce your citizenship, which means, first and foremost, you must be a Nigerian citizen by virtue of 26 and thereabout to be able to want to renounce your citizenship. So 29.1 then laid down the procedures. You need to apply to the president, you need to do this, you need to do that. Now, 29.4b is a proviso. What we call proviso in law is that it's referring to subsection 1, which deals with the issue of renunciation of citizenship.
Yeah.
And it defines the character of who can.
Okay. For the avoidance of that, let's just read this out, because just as you said, lots of people went tweeting about some of these things without even understanding what the whole section is about. You know, they heard it from a third party, and then they went on with it. But Section 29, just as you say, talks about renunciation of citizenship.
Yes.
And 29.4, let me take you to 4A and B.
Okay.
For the purpose of subsection 1 of this section, which is about any citizen of Nigeria of full age who wishes to renounce his Nigerian citizenship shall make a declaration in the prescribed manner for the renunciation. Now it says, for the purpose of that subsection, full age means the age of 18 years
and above.
Mm-hmm. And then B then says, any woman who is married shall be deemed to be of full age. So this is the part where...
So which means reading through those sections, Section 29, 4A says 18 and above is the age of It's the age upon which you can renounce your citizenship. 29 4